Hello, everybody. This is D-Rod.
And Anna.
And welcome to the second podcast episode in D-Rod's Coffeehouse. We still don't have a name.
This is amazing.
Let us know what the name is, because we want to make sure it's cool, for the podcast.
Like a cute little slogan, too. I thought
that'd be fun. Yeah. So this week, we are talking about our relationship, how we started dating, how I guess we got married, and how we worked together on music. I guess those are the three things. We're off the cuff here, so whatever comes, let us know, babe.
All
but
right.
I'm gonna hand it off to you. You can talk about the beginning of our relationship. You can talk about just whatever in the beginning, and then I can trail off, and then we'll finish off with, I guess, marriage and what's going on now with our lives.
All right, beginning, I have a question.
Yes.
First impression, did you like me?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't like you either.
we started off as like friends, or like we like knew about each other first,
I wouldn't say like we were like enemies to lovers, but it was more like we didn't like each other, I will say.
You didn't like me more than I didn't like you. I just didn't really like recognize you. I was like, oh, it's like another girl.
He's younger than me. And so we met in 2019.
2019, yeah.
2019. So I like thought of him as like just a younger guy, and I was like, whatever.
Because she is almost, I know I always pick on her for this. She's almost a year and a half older than me. So that's why.
It's a year, 5 months, like
so
6
if
days.
I was 18 though. Like when
I
we
was
first,
19.
Yeah, so I was so immature. So I guess that's why it was valid that I've matured a lot in our relationship.
It wasn't anything like, but it was just like you were younger or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so first met, wasn't a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
Our two friend groups came together. We hung out. And then I think like the first initial time like I saw you, you were like, all right. But like when we first hung out, I guess it was the fair. I guess we went to the fair.
But it wasn't like we weren't hanging out together. It was more like my best friend got invited by like her group of friends to go out to the state fair, and he needed like a guy there because it's like it would be weird.
It was three girls and then a guy, so we needed another guy to even it out.
Because he didn't really like know anyone, there. So I was like, I guess I'll go because I hadn't gone to the state fair in forever. But it was like 100% not like I didn't know. I mean, I guess I kind of knew you were going, but I didn't know you at all.
Yeah.
But that night is when we really like hit it off and like got to talk a lot.
Yeah, I kind of would say like looking back on it, the two of us would like be walking in front of the group,
and
so it was just like. It wasn't a first date, but it's kind of like we were like together, and then the three of them were.
I mean,
just,
I was
back
flirting,
there
I was flirting. Like
he was.
It was second nature to me. It was.
Yeah, you didn't have like a. I wasn't. I was in my mindset.
I was rizzing her up. I'm just saying.
My mindset was, I don't need a man. Like I'm 19. I'm in school. Like I'm living life. I don't need you. But he came along, and I was like, daggum, this guy is so nice.
And I was content in my singleness. Like I wasn't really looking for anything.
Yeah.
But. Like I was just having a good time. I was making music, back in like 2019 days. It was like the good old days, But yeah, it was a good time. Did you have anything else to add about that or anything else?
Well, go ahead and talk about like what happened after.
Well, so then we anyways, that was like our first week together. I think we texted like once or twice or something like that. But then the next week we hung out again with the same friend group. And then that's when I like really like fell hard for like I got a crush, So I was like, all right, cool. And then I think the week after that, it was like another week and a half, something around those lines. I just like established like right away like what the moves were, like I just didn't. I had never. So this is a big precaution or like big forewarning. I had never ever had a girlfriend before. I've never had a girlfriend. I've never been with a girl. I've always just been chilling myself because I just had such a big head back in the day. I'm like, no one's good enough to date me.
And that's why I didn't like them, probably.
Yeah, I just didn't want to date anybody because I'm like, all these girls, like, respectfully, like, I don't know. I think I just had my standards too high or something. But, I mean, genuinely, like, you fit really well with, like, someone that, like, I wanted to date. And that wasn't, like, any, like, it was a very, like, practical. I was like, yeah, like, this person would make a really good girlfriend, a really good wife one day. But I didn't know that far in advance. But I did establish beforehand. I just wanted what I friend zoned you basically.
Yeah, he like defined the relationship, like set me down and like defined the relationship, and like
I defined everything.
He was just so like, this is it. Like I want to be your friend. It was so nice, but like in my mind, I'm like. Yeah, but he wants to be. Like, he wants to be more than friends.
The reason why I said that first, like I said, I've never been in a relationship, so I was probably doing all this thing wrong. But I just, I didn't really know her, So I didn't want to just start going out with someone and call someone my girlfriend if I barely knew her, So like we did start hanging out though. Like I was just like we were just asking each other like all the questions. We would just hang out. We would just talk just about life. just because like I wanted to know you, you know, like just everything and anything I could think of, I just asked you and you asked me, and
it was like so calm.
For like what, like 2.5, about like 2 months probably that went on.
It was like I could be myself and know like he wouldn't judge me.
Yeah, we were ourselves.
We would just talk for like
I had nothing to hide, you know, and I think it was good because I defined it right away. Beginning, I was like, listen, like if there's anything you don't like about me, like no stress. I think that's why people need to do more in relationships instead of just, you know, just ghosting someone. It's I guess that was also a big fear of mine. I think that's why I was so scared of getting into a relationship. I had never been in one before because I've had crushes in the past, but those ended up being, you know, me being ghosted or whatever. So I guess I was scared of that, even though I've never really been close to a girl, you know? So yeah, I just told you straight. I was like, listen, if I'd rather you tell me to my face, like there's something like you don't want to hang out with me or whatever, you don't want to be with me anymore, or we weren't together, but I was like, I'd rather you, like if you see something that you hear something that you don't like about me, just tell me and I'm cool, you know, like, and it won't be awkward every time that we see each other, you know, later on in life. It's like, you know, like me and Anna, like we were good friends, like we talked for a while, but she didn't see me as like boyfriend or husband material, and that's that. There's no hard feelings at all, and like we could still be really nice to each other. Yeah. And if we ever see each other out or we ever like hang out with the group, it's no like nothing weird. You know?
No beef there. Which that's not.
We never had beef. About that. You know, we never. But that was my like. I guess I was so scared. You know, about that. So, but anyways, after that, I think it was going into 2020. So like right before, not right before COVID. I think it was January 2020. We went on our very first date.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
It was fun? It
was good.
I loved it.
Kind of like 10 days before that, though. It was Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And I texted him, like, Merry Christmas.
Because I was leaving for something, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to New Jersey with the family. Yeah.
So he was like, I was like, you know, texting him Merry Christmas. And, you know, we're kind of like that point where, like, we're seeing each other like exclusively. I guess like people would say like
we're ready to date. We're ready to
date. We're didn't call it a date yet. And like
but we were ready. Dating. We were ready for it though. You know, like,
so like I text him like Merry Christmas to you and your family, and he comes back, thanks, friend. Like friend.
I called her friend. Y'all. I was just still like, I mean, I was just, you know,
so bad,
me being a 19-year-old immature kid, I had doubts. Like I was overthinking everything. I was like, is this right? Should I do this? Because like if I'm gonna be a boyfriend, I'm gonna make sure like I commit well, you know, and I know like, hey, I'm here to date you, and like I see myself getting married to you one day, you know, and that's how it was. I mean, we were young too, so
anyway, we got over that.
Yeah.
He texted me or called me, FaceTime me. He did one of those, and he was like, next time we go out, do you want to call it a date? And I was like, sure thing. So we went on our first date. It was really sweet, really casual.
And then we went on a few other dates. It was great. Yeah. And then we like made it like, I guess, public that we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And that was right before.
That's the funny thing.
Right before COVID.
Yeah, it was literally, so our first date was like beginning of January.
Yep.
We kept it a secret, not in a weird way, just because we had a lot of friends who just would...
like the gossip kind of people.
The gossip
So we know if our relationship is in its very, very early infant stages.
Yeah.
We just don't want to jeopardize. I mean, obviously, we told the people that we trusted, the people that we love. We told our good friends that we trusted, but we just didn't want to make it like a big thing yet because, you know, we were still... We had to talk about what that was looking like, you know?
Yeah, because if we broke up or anything, we didn't want anyone to come to, like, either one of us and, like, bash that person because we don't want, like, being a bad blood at the end.
Yeah. Because genuinely, no matter what happened, if we were to break up or whatever, like, I wanted to make sure we ended that. Or we, like, started something in really good terms, you know?
Yeah.
I was, like, scared of hurting you because, like, I did, you know, I liked you regardless if you wanted to go out with me or not, you know?
Handle your relationships that way, guys. Yeah. But then, so at the end of February, right before my birthday, we made it official. So that was, I don't know why I did air quotes. Yeah. It was official.
Yeah.
We officially started dating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like we were always in the pursuit of that. It was just, since it was my first like relationship, I just didn't know. I was so much on the caution side more than just like here's your another girlfriend. Because I never had one before. And that was right before COVID. So it just was like so weird to be around.
Going back on that, we like both met each other's parents. We met like siblings. Like we knew each other before we made it official. Mm-hmm. But then COVID hit March of 2020 in North Carolina. Yeah. And things completely shut down.
For sure. And we lived very far away from each other. We lived probably like 45 to 50 minutes away from each other. Yeah. So when COVID happened, I was just looking forward to seeing her for like 1 to 2 days in the weekend, you know? Because you had school, I was going to work, I was doing music, I was so we would see each other like only once or twice a week for what? That was probably for like 3, 4, 5 months, maybe.
If not longer, honestly.
I don't remember. It was around that time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Anyways, I'll fast forward this a little bit, but COVID happened. It was great though. We got to hang out a lot with our families, got to know each other. That was like I said, like the early stages of our relationship.
I feel like we grew up during that point.
Yeah,
like,
we grew up. We matured a lot in 2020. 2021, we matured a lot too. Yeah. That was a hard year for us because I had gone to a summer camp. I was gone for like 3 months. And so we had to learn a lot more on communication. We learned a lot on communication.
Which long distance, not for the faint of heart, I will say.
Long distance was really hard, yeah.
I feel like, I don't want to say like every relationship should go through long distance, but I think like it makes your communication a lot better. It makes a lot, like you get to know that person in a different viewpoint other than just like staying with them. So
for sure, like long distance, like really forced the communication and like the relationship, the healthier relationship side out of us. So I guess that's what every couple has to go through a rough patch like that. You know? I guess that was definitely a rough patch because. I mean, it was hard. I didn't want to leave you, but like I knew the other side of like going to summer camp and doing what I had to do, and then you started working like another job, so it was fun. It was fun, but it was a good time. Like whenever you visited me in Ohio, that was fun.
Yeah, I flew out to see him.
And then did I see you any other time, or was that it? That was it, right?
I feel like I saw you another time. No, I did. I drove down to Georgia.
Yeah, you did.
I've driven and flown so many miles to see this boy, I will say.
During that
I went to Ohio, then I drove like 8 hours with two
That was fun, though. That was so fun. The Ohio, I remember when you came to Ohio, that was...
I stayed for a whole week, which was crazy. Like, had to get off work. And,
that was so fun. I
pumped at the camp, which was like super amazing. Yeah. But it's crazy.
So we'll wrap end of 2021.
Yeah.
I think, end of 2021, like October, November, December, we had gone through like more communication, like I guess not like mishaps or whatever, but like it was
like
hard.
Make or break moment, I would say. It was like
we learned a lot, we grew a lot together, and then by end of 2021, y'all, I knew that I wanted to marry this girl, right?
Because of all the like make or break moments. We're like, okay, we can do this. Like
once you go through growing pains and once you learn about each other a lot, and mind you, between all this time, I'm still making music, I'm still doing all this stuff, and she's helping me out, but it was hard to do it like when we're like really not together a lot. I feel
like when we were dating, like I was dating Daniel, but like D-Rod was a whole different not person, but it was like I wasn't invested in the music as we are now.
You were helping out a lot. You were still helping out with videos
so did
and
the
stuff.
Icon. Like I think that's when I started doing like your icons.
Weren't like clearly we weren't married, we weren't living together, so you couldn't see the ins and outs of me making music and stuff.
Because there's several songs that you released that I never like knew the writing process. Like I didn't hear it until it released on Spotify at midnight, and I would stay up and like listen to it for the first time. Like I didn't know what it was about or anything.
So end of 2021, 2022 happens, and we had already talked about this. Like we knew, like we're gonna get married this year. We can't wait any longer.
As soon as New Year's Eve, I whispered in his ear, we have a video of it, but we whispered in his ear, and I was like, "This is the year we're getting married." Like, come on.
So I had bought the ring, y'all. I had bought the ring January 2022.
Okay, so if you want to finish the rest of that podcast episode, along with dozens of other podcasts, song breakdowns, and exclusive videos and songs that I don't put out anywhere else, join D-Rod's Coffeehouse for free. I promise I post 3 times a week in there, and I don't even show it to anyone else except for the people in there. So I love y'all, and I'll see you soon in the Coffeehouse.